Welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Megan and Shannon. We are also known as the Scorpio Sisters, and we are here to explore the mysterious, magical, and the arcane. Shannon and I are both really excited about today's topic, which is how to cast creative and unusual circles and create sacred spaces. We actually talked about this for like an hour before we actually started.
A sacred space is a spot, space, corner, room, potentially your entire house, where you can go for restive, restorative, and just positive energy towards your soul, your emotions, your mental health, and sometimes even your physical health. All of your bodies, your ethereal bodies and your spiritual body and your physical body. It's something that not everyone does intuitively. They don't automatically make a sanctuary or haven or a sacred space within their apartment or house or flat.
Right.
That's not saying that it can't be, but that usually means you've designed it so that way as soon as you step into your apartment, you're already getting the benefits of resting, restoring, and general positivity.
Right. For many of us, that's just not a luxury that we've had.
No.
Having the entire space in which we live be perfectly designed to our comfort is extremely rare. Either there's a financial barrier or time barrier, or you live with other people. I live just with my wife, and we both have very different ideas about what's comfortable and what isn't. So having that sacred space where you can go and decompress and nurture yourself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically, can be really beneficial to your magical practice.
And your just spiritual path in general, too.
Especially now.
There's a little bit of a unbalance happening because you're bringing home that stress. You are opening up the computer and there's the stress. It's manifesting right in front of you as you're working. Whether you like your job or not, it's going to have some tense moments. Being able to have a separate sacred space really does help you walk away off the computer, look away, maybe go into your sacred space and just be, or water the plants, or pull a tarot card, or do a little bit of art, pray, meditate, yoga, whatever it is that you want to do in your sacred space. It's a lot more helpful to maintain that boundary between this is work and this is not work. I can go straight to that space and shed the stress of being out.
Right. It's almost a way to replace your daily commute. I often use that commute to decompress, to leave all of the stress from work, all of the frustration from work, and let my mind just be goo and re-solidify until I got home. So having that sacred space to kind of replace that commute, because you can also go in there before work and set your intentions, breathe and meditate, create a foundation of calmness so that you can avoid becoming overstimulated for as long as possible. During the day, you can go in there. After work, as Shannon was talking about, it's a way to sort of leave that stuff behind, leave it at work.
Mm-hmm. The most stressful parts of my day was actually the commute.
Right.
I would get to work and I would be able to find sacred spaces within time, if not place, in order to decompress from a tense situation. But the commute involved public transportation, whether it's bus, walking, or subway. That overwhelming presence of too many people too close together. This is very stressful for me personally. Even though I set my intentions and I keep myself calm that this is going to be a good day, this is going to be a day with as little stress as possible, that public transportation was the most stressful part of my day because I didn't have the time or space to decompress in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to my sacred space within my apartment was my end goal. I need to get there to decompress and to leave it all behind, because I can leave the work at work, but the commute stress would stay with me.
Yeah.
If you have a stressful environment, having a sacred space to come home to is really good to decompress.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting myself stressful thinking about the commute, so I will stop now.
Think about your sacred space instead.
Yeah.
Now that we've stressed ourselves and all of you out, there are so many different ways that you can create these spaces, even if you have a tiny space, even if you can't set up a permanent space, and even if you have to hide it because it's not safe or it's not supported in your home. Like either you're sharing space with people who don't care for your spiritual practice, or people are coming in and out of your house all the time and you just rather keep it for yourself. There's no harm in staying in the broom closet with some people and not others.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you want to be specific about your sacred space with imagery or iconography of your spiritual practice and path. You can always do a generalization with crystals and plants and moon imagery, star imagery, and most of the time, even the people who are disapproving of witchcraft or paganism or any of the other spiritual paths that are not their own won't say much, because the moon is pretty, stars are pretty, plants, crystals are also very shiny, so they can be very pretty. There are options. It depends on what your sacred space looks like.
Yeah, I grew up in a very restrictive fundamentalist Christian home where I would never have been allowed to explore witchcraft in any way. And I got away with it because my aesthetic has always been kind of fantasy based. I had a reputation for collecting rocks and sticks and crystals and images of the night sky and things like that. So I flew under the radar for a very long time.
There's nothing wrong with having an aesthetically pleasing sacred space that's actually flying under the radar.
A number of places that you could create this. The most obvious one is your bedroom. You can have a little reading chair or a reading nook or a reading rug where you set up all of your comfortable aesthetic things, and that's where you go to draw oracle, draw tarot, things of that nature. And each thing that you choose to place in that area can be in some way enchanted. I love the idea of having an area rug or a throw rug of some kind that you enchant, and that is actually your circle. That's your sacred circle. It doesn't matter where you put it. You can take it camping with you. You can put it in the living room, bedroom, bathroom. You can throw it in the back of your van if you have a van that you take camping, and you can take it wherever you need to take it. Different ways that you can choose to do this include simply just using words and energy to enchant it. You can also choose a rug that has geometric forms and colors and patterns that are aligned with your practice. You can actually draw or paint sigils or symbols on the underside of it. So unless somebody comes along and decides to look under your rug, they're not going to see it. Or you could even do that with oils or waters. So you can draw the symbols onto it, but nobody can actually see them. They're just there energetically.
Mm-hmm. I separate my sacred space from my circles. So probably because I don't live in a circle, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I will do a lot of circles in my sacred space, but my sacred space, it happens to be my office.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the office is my workstation. The other half is meant to allow me to get up away from the computer and de-stress and decompress from whatever is causing me frustration, including computer slowness.
Okay.
So I have nothing circular in my office space, but I have art on the walls. I have my art sitting on the side waiting for me to re-engage with it, whether it's during lunch or after work. I have books. Just looking at books makes me so happy, and it really makes me so relaxed. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction or picture books or whatever it is, they make my soul happy.
Yeah.
Very rarely will I do a circle in this particular sacred space. Most of the time when I'm doing a spell or working, I gravitate to doing it during the night.
Mm-hmm.
I am already in my bedroom, and my bedroom becomes my circle. Like, my bedroom is not really my sacred space. I have books there and stuff like that, but it feels too crowded for it to be sacred. It can be relaxing, but it's not restive. It's not restorative to all parts of my being. It's good for my body, but not necessarily for everything else. So I tend to have my circles in my bedroom, and I have a floor pillow that is actually squaring the circle. So it's a circular pattern on a square floor pillow. And I use sacred geometry in order to do most of my circles, and I use energy. So I visualize the circle around me. I build my circle up through energetic projections of what I see and feel.
Mm-hmm.
I cast circles on a regular basis using energy in my bedroom when I'm doing my working, when I'm doing my spell. And when I'm in my sacred space, I have a different protocol, and it's usually not casting protocol. I might still do some witchcraft, creative witchcraft, crafting witchcraft. It's painting, it's putting together a witch ball, it's lighting a candle. My sacred space is a little bit different than my magic space.
Right. Every magic space is sacred, but not every sacred space is magic.
Exactly.
That's all we have on the topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again. In the meantime, you can follow us on our blog for some more witchy wisdom, as well as check out some of our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thank you again for joining us, and go make some magic and live your best life. Bye.
Bye, everyone.